and AM 1160. Last week when we talked with him, he was teeing off on the fifth hole. I'm guessing with the weather in Erie, much like the weather here, that he's nowhere near a golf course this morning, but holed up in some hotel room somewhere. He's Jon Mozes, the Altoona Curve. John, good morning.
Good morning. You're correct. I am in the hotel today because it's raining.
Conversation brought to you by Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. Surprised that you're able to get some of the baseball in this week, huh? It's been kind of rainy around these parts.
Yeah, we dodged a little bit on Tuesday. We sort of got lucky the first day of the series. There was a concert at the Erie Insurance Arena Tuesday night, so we had to play the game at 12:30, and that actually turned out to be the only window of the day that you could probably play baseball. We were clear we were clear Wednesday and Thursday night, which was nice, but still 50 degrees and gray, such is life at this time of year.
In Pennsylvania. Yeah, you're right. Hey, last night 2-1 pitching duel. And Altoona pitched pretty well, but just a couple of errors in the eighth inning sort of spelled the end in that game, huh?
Yeah, tough one there. Kyle Nicholas was pretty good again. Allowed his first run in a road game this year. Tonight making his fourth start, or last night made his fourth start on the road. Struck out 6 guys, and J.C. Flowers was very good in relief. And leadoff guy gets on a low throw to first base that the first baseman can't dig out, and it sort of spiraled from there. A swinging bunt, an intentional walk, a fielder's choice where they tried to get a double play to get out of the inning, and the throw ends up getting away. So, it was a go ahead run without the benefit of a hit, and that's a tough way to lose a ball game. When Altoona pitched as well as they did.
Well, one of the things about the Curve's pitching staff this year is they've got really high-profile starters. In the bullpen, though, we don't hear as much about those fellas. And so J.C. Flowers putting in the kind of effort he did last night. Some of the other people we've heard, I know Thomas has been pretty good this year, and we expect a lot out of him. But talk about some of those fellas down there, and start with Flowers. Is he a real prospect?
Yeah, Flowers certainly has the ability. The Pirates are sort of using a couple of guys on our staff as sort of length relievers where they're good to throw 2 or 3 innings. Flowers is in that role. Noe Toribio is in that role to start the year. We just got Brad Case from AAA. He's going to fill that role for a little while. And Travis McGregor is there now, where Omar, it was a role that Omar Cruz started in to begin the year. There's a couple of guys with some real future in this game. Colin Selby has looked terrific at the back end of games this year. He's worked a fastball in the high 90s and a really good curveball. Austin Roberts has a similar profile. He's also got sort of the stuff to get guys out on a consistent basis. And, you mentioned Tanaj Thomas. He's allowed just 1 run this year, his first time working out of the bullpen. And, it's a role that suits him pretty well because, he's had some trouble repeating his delivery before. And this year he's just in a good place, and sort of keeping it to a 1 or 2 inning outing has allowed him to find some real success. So it's a consistent group out there. It's just about getting 27 outs in a quick fashion to let your hitters get enough swings up there.
Yeah, we hear about all these golden arms that the Pirates have groomed, and Altoona certainly is stacked with them. And it'd be really interesting to watch these guys as they get further along in their careers, where they end up, what kind of impact they have on the major league level. Wanted to talk a little bit about the hitting, though, because there are some fellas up there that we expect a lot out of, and maybe we're not giving them the time to make the adjustment to Double-A to match up with our expectations. So there are some fellas who are still struggling at the plate, and we'd love to see their bats wake up a little bit.
Yeah, no doubt. Getting a couple more hits out of Nick Gonzalez and Matt Frazier would go a long way toward this team picking up more wins. Leover Peguero's been outstanding to start the year. Lolo Sanchez is really seeing the ball well right now. Those 2 guys are sort of leading the offense right now, Peguero and Sanchez. And Jared Triolo's settled in as the leadoff guy, and, he's seeing some good pitches up there, so he's starting to find his consistency at the plate. But you're right, getting a little more production out of some of those other guys, like Gonzalez, like Frazier, and losing Jack Sawinski to the major league roster has affected Altoona's, depth in the lineup, but that's to be expected when guys go to the big leagues.
Yeah, and Altoona and anybody in minor league baseball should know that, and other guys have to be taught to look for it as an opportunity for them to step up. And I know the Curve still has, because weren't we talking earlier in the season about 4 guys in the outfield and only 3 can play on a given day out there? There should be guys with bats ready to roll, right?
Yeah, for sure. Connor Scott, Lolo Sanchez, and Matt Frazier together with Jack Sawinski on the opening day roster. You're right, 4 guys for 3 spots. So that's been solved a little bit with Sawinski staying on the Major League roster now for almost 2 weeks. But you're right. It's a difficult task for manager Kyron Madison and his staff to make sure that they keep everybody in the lineup that's productive, but also gets the at-bats they need every week.
Does he have about the same problem in the infield as we were talking about in the outfield earlier with Marcano back down there at Altoona? He's obviously a guy that is a talented baseball player. He spent time in the majors, both with San Diego and now with Pittsburgh. And they've got some other great guys. There's Triolo over there. He's going to get a Gold Glove award coming up in a couple of days.
Yeah, Marcano is sort of a guy that I think gets overlooked. A lot of experience in the infield. He's been playing left field for Altoona, which also sort of complicates the outfield picture. But you're right, has the ability to play at short and third base and at second base as well. So I think the other sort of trouble for Altoona and manager Kyron Madison right now is that, Andres Alvarez has come off the bench and played really well, just given the curve good, consistent at-bats this year. So trying to find a way to keep a productive bat in the lineup while still playing Triolo at third and Peguero at short and Gonzalez at second, makes it tough for Alvarez to get, a daily spot in the lineup. But got to find a way. When guys are productive, they force their way into that starting 9.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so one of the things I wanted to be sure I brought up with you today is the fact that these guys playing for the Altoona Curve played with, they've been in this organization a couple of years together, all moving around as a group, and that includes some of the people who are leading them, the coaching staff, the manager, of course. They came with them from Greensboro. That has to be a great advantage. So helping these guys adjust to playing Double-A baseball as they are adjusting to managing and coaching in Double-A baseball. No, it's a challenge, but again, it's a great opportunity for everybody involved.
For sure, and our manager Kyron Madison said it to me sort of early in the season. It might have been media day or just right around opening day that he feels like at this level of play that the talent level is even or closer to even across the field. All 9 guys on the field for both teams have a chance to make their way to the major leagues at some point. So it comes down more to who can make the right instinctual baseball decisions and, what's going on between the ears that can determine whether or not a player has success at this level and eventually at AAA and in the majors. So, I think sort of focusing on the mental aspect of the game, making sure you're making the right play in the right situation is a focus for this coaching staff right now.
So the Altoona Curve for the last 2 weeks have been traipsing around the western half of the nation, Ohio, Erie. Okay, maybe not far western half of the nation, but they've been away from home for a couple of weeks. And so you're on your way home. What's next week look like for the Curve?
Oh, very much looking forward to our series against the Somerset Patriots, New York Yankees AA affiliate. We got a couple of education days coming up on our 2-week homestand. Wednesday, May 11th and May 18th, we'll play at 11 a.m. We've got post-game fireworks Friday the 13th. Our reverse Punxsutawney Phil bobblehead giveaway is happening on Saturday, May 14th, and that's a really fun one. It's actually Punxsutawney Phil holding the guy, not the other way around.
I was going to say, explain that to me, but you just did.
Yeah, it's a very, very unique bobblehead. So that's Saturday, May 14th at 4 o'clock. It's to the first 1,000 fans. We wanted to give this away a year ago. Shipping delays. It's finally made it to us, so we're excited to give it out on May 14th. That should be a lot of fun. And then we have a kids club game on Sunday the 15th. And being home for 2 weeks, I think, will really help the fellas sort of hit their stride going forward here at the plate and on the mound.
Yeah, and the weather is going to turn for us, too. We're finally going to get late spring-type weather, or at least good spring-type weather. We'll have temperatures in the 70s all next week and sunny skies, and everybody's going to look forward to that. And we don't talk about it all that much, but for particularly guys who come from overseas or from south, from the Dominican, from Puerto Rico, from those areas, they're not used to this cold stuff as they've had here for the last month or so of the season. So it'll feel a lot better for them to get more to an environment that they're used to.
For sure. And, we've got a group of guys that hail from California, same kind of deal for them where they're used to, good weather for 10, 11 months out of the year. Some of our guys are from Florida, same situation where it's warm all the time. It's an adjustment. And, with the way our schedule's played out this year where it was cold on opening weekend in Altoona, then we went to Richmond and it was 80 degrees every day. Then we came back and it snowed. And we had a couple days where it was in the 40s and 50s that they had to play. And then we came out to Akron and, it was a temperature in the 40s, and, this week in Erie it's been 50s and rainy. Just sort of the back and forth of good weather versus bad, I think, is a difficult challenge to overcome. But hopefully we're past all of it, and it's 70s and sunshine all the way starting next week.
Yeah, well, in Bradenton, they can finish the ball game and go walk on the beach. In Wilmington, they might have to walk about 200 miles, but they could get to a beach. In Altoona, not a whole lot of beaches around there, but at any rate, we're looking forward to a couple of weeks of baseball at home for the Altoona Curve. Hey, thanks so much for joining us today, as always, Jon.
No problem. Talk to you soon.
All right, have a great weekend. Have a great weekend.